Yeah, good morning. Malaka, only yourself has joined yet. Let's see, others to join. We will wait for a minute or two. Uh, yeah, Dilanja, right? So thanks and very good morning to you all. So let's start kind of giving a briefing on what we have done on last 4 to 5 weeks. Basically, we have done 4 sections, that is introduction to credit, SME banking, sources of financing, and microfinancing. So very important area in terms of examination. Roughly about 25 to 30% of questions has been set on like SME banking and the microfinancing, and introduction to credit, introduction to project financing, and so related area another 10%. So probably 40% of kind of the questions has been in line in relation to those 4 segments. So I think we have done some past paper questions also. Hopefully that you have gotten initial sort of understanding, and later also that we will when we undertake a bit of revision on what we have done, you can get an further understanding. So today what we are trying to do is another very important aspect, that is called break-even financing or break-even analysis. Now before starting to main topic, I'll just give an understanding what is the like context of learning from today onwards. So since we have done SME banking, since we have done microfinancing, now we are into like a project financing or maybe a development financing in a bigger way. So that basically project financing is basically as we started learning, something to see that how feasible a project is. So how feasible it could be, it is something about financial feasibility, market feasibility, management, technical. There are so many feasibilities, viabilities to be checked. So when everything are okay, we say the project is feasible to proceed with. So that's like the ultimate exercise that we need to carry out. So in order to support that, what we are trying to do here is we try to understand different supporting area in this project feasibility. So as I told you, in project feasibility, we have financial feasibility. In order to understand the financial feasibility, what we are trying to do is we try to learn about break-even analysis, working capital analysis, financial statement analysis, ratio analysis, and forecasting. Those are the 5 areas that we are trying to understand, mainly to support financial feasibility in project financing. I hope that you got that concept. And then also we try to learn non-financial analysis, where you can learn about environmental management and other feasibilities also. Once we have done all these supporting topics, then we finally go to the project financing core activities, and then we will complete that exercise. So in the run-up to project financing co-analysis, we start with a subtopics which could be supporting, which could be helpful in project financing concept. So break-even analysis is very important technique. But in other terms, so what do you understand? Like any examples in like break-even in your practical life? Malaka, Dilanja, what are the like experience? Any thoughts? Any feedback? Any suggestions? Have you come across like people saying we have not yet broken in, and we need to go some more to break even my business or branch. Have you heard that? We have been discussing those things in a branch. For example, bank branch, you started, and after 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, people calling, have you started to break even? Haven't you started break even? So what it basically tells you something, because moving to make profitable state, moving to make a business venture or firm or a product line make profit, so we need to discuss some other aspects. That's what we call break even, right? So in the break even, what happened is we try to understand some kind of a terminology, that is to understand about whether I am making profit, whether I am coming out from loss-making situation. So what is that particular instant where I am not making profit or not making loss? It's like that. There may be some questions, because without knowing where you are heading in the business, so you sometimes unable to convince somebody, especially like bankers, to say that so I am into this type of business, so I want to make the type of a credit facility from you, and what's like possibility of getting a kind of a credit facility. So in that sense, so the banker could be convinced. Only the entrepreneur tells different positive of the project, especially financial outcome. So break even is one of those things. So that's why we are trying to understand it more deeper in terms of project financing and in terms of general business sense also, right? Just to give an understanding what is like the concepts, what's like break even is. Then we move to the presentation formally, that is break even analysis. So it examines the short run relationship. Why in the short run? Keep that in mind. Between changes in volume, revenue, profit. So generally, we are assuming some parameters are constant, so during a particular period. So then based on that, we try to understand a relationship between some parameters: volume, revenue, profit, so on and so forth. So the short run specifically tells, in a long run, our assumptions may not be there, or not be constant, not be static, could be varied. However, in a short run, so we try to understand, we try to figure out a relationship between some parameters in, say, profit and loss account, right? That's about revenue, that's about profit, that's about volume. So again, we also mention it as CVP analysis: cost, volume, profit analysis. That's another term. So break-even analysis, we define kind of a short-run relationship between some parameters, and we call it as CVP analysis as well. Again, it is important for short-term planning and decision making. We, before we start in the session, we just spoke about some concept applications of break-even. Later, we'll more formally learn what are the applications in short-term planning and decision making. Because let's say you want to start a business, And when you are carrying out the business, you need to know when you are making a profit, when you are making a, a position where you can target for additional order, additional product offering, service offering. So those things are important. It looks at the relationship between cost, revenue, output, and profit. That's a similar like earlier. So what are the decisions like choice of sales mix, pricing? Those are some decisions. We'll just start learning those things in next slide. Basically, we need to know why the break-even analysis is important. It uses, because break-even is a very simple tool in a shorter run planning and decision making process, because break-even could lead to a next level decision making also. If we know that a particular business, particular product, particular service is not breaking even during a kind of a period that you are planning or expected to do, then no point you continue the operations. So it's give early signal to say business is viable or not. If the customer comes to take a loan from you, and then when you know the impact by analyzing the break-even of the particular operations, and if you see that it's not making profits and you can't see a timeline of a breaking even, probably you might say that no, this is not a viable proposition. So like that, there may be so many applications. So we'll try to learn some examples, right? Some decision making, some planning, right? Using break-even concepts. So how many units must be sold to break even? It's like this. Say you have started business, continuing in the business, but you need to know what is my break-even point. So otherwise, you just producing, but you never know that you try to start making profit. It's no point you try to producing without making profit or without making a company, a business break even. Number two, then sometimes that if you want to know that how much you are going to earn as a profit, what's the profit that you can achieve as the target profit, how many units you need to sell, that's an important question. You need to know what's my profit level. Thirdly, let's say that you are continuing with some business, and now we are getting a special order from somebody else. Whether you need to accept that or not, it's a decision you can get based on break even. Fourth one, if we introduce new product or new service, what would be the impact? Whether your existing profit levels are going to reduce, increase, no change. So those are some kind of application examples, the support we can get from the break-even analysis. So very important perspective in terms of break-even. So this slide, very important. What are the application of break even in decision making and short term planning. Right. Having said that, we try to learn key terminologies in break even. So you need to understand what are the concepts behind the break-even analysis. Again, these 2-3 slides important because exam purposes we have been asked to define those terminologies, right? So before discussing these terminologies, so we will see a graph, this one, right? What is this graph? We call this as break-even chart. So y-axis gives you revenue or sales or cost line. X-axis gives you the volume, quantity sold. And you see that when you're increasing the quantity, if you don't see a change in cost, we call that fixed cost. That's another assumption. Generally, when you are increasing the quantity due to various factors, even the fixed cost also could be changed. But in this application, we are assuming that fixed cost is not going to change based on the volume. That's one. Number two, we call variable cost. That's this part, this straight line. If you see this straight line, this total, but if you assume this is going to start from there, like here, what happened? With the increase in output, there is a cost component is going to proportionately change. That is called variable cost. So variable cost is changing proportionate to the volume. That called variable cost. But when you know the fixed cost and variable cost, this is the fixed cost. If you draw a graph like here, it's a variable cost. When you're going to adapt that, so that is the total cost. If you this TC line at 0, quantity is not going to do, there is a cost component. That is what we call fixed cost. Increasing quantity, fixed cost will adapt with this variable cost, like. And then this is the total cost, that is a part of the variable cost and part of the fixed cost. So then the total cost curve is being drawn here, right? Let me know, tell me whether you have understood that fixed cost and variable cost and total cost curve. If not, I'll draw it and show you. Malaka, is it okay? Dilanja, is it okay? Right. What about Dilanja? You are okay? You got? Right, thanks. Then we move to total revenue. That of course no issue, because at point 0, no quantities, no revenue. With the quantity is going to increase, revenue is going to increase. So now we have finally 2 straight lines, total revenue and total cost. So there is a point where revenue is equal to cost. And beyond that point, we have profit. And before that point, you have loss. So this point where in a business, the total revenue is equal to total cost, or in a business when you are not generating profit or loss, is called the break-even point. So the break-even point, you define where no revenue, like total, the revenue equals to cost point, or no profit, no neither profit nor loss situation. So in this area where total cost is above the total revenue, we experience a loss. In this area where total revenue is beyond the total cost, you make a profit. Simple as that. So this chart is very much important. We call break-even chart, where you draw this graph using revenue cost versus the quantity. So whenever you go to the exam, when you ask to define the break-even point, if you can draw this graph and then you can define, I mean, that's perfect. You can get maximum marks for the particular question. Right. Now we go to understand some concepts, parameters or terminologies. So break-even point, the point at which a company makes neither a profit or a loss. That is, no profit, no loss situation. In other words, this is originated when total revenue is equal to total cost. Okay? It's fair enough to understand. In order to arrive the break-even point, we need some more concepts, some more mathematics to be learned. One is contribution per unit. What is contribution per unit? Contribution per unit is defined sales minus variable cost in terms selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So contribution per unit is equal to selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So it tells you a contribution made by each item of output to the fixed cost and profit to the organization. So basically, when you are trying to manufacture one additional unit, what is the contribution, a support given towards a firm? So that contribution would support you to absorb what? Fixed cost. After absorbing the fixed cost, you have something left over that is called profit. If you don't have something, then you make a loss. But contribution is something at operational level. So it basically, it covers your variable cost. Keep aside your fixed cost, but variable cost would be covered. Hope you understand that. Okay. Then we have another 2 or 3 concepts to be learned. So starting from the last, fixed cost. Cost incurring in business, irrespective of changes to the production of units. So as you've seen, increase in the volume doesn't impact the cost. That is fixed cost. Variable cost, it's vary according to the volume. A cost of producing 1 extra unit of output. For each output, what is the cost incurring? That is called variable cost. So you know what is fixed cost, you know what is variable cost, you know what is contribution per unit, you know what is break-even point. Another formula is margin of safety. Margin of safety. That is, if you know the budgeted volume and if you know the actual volume, right? If the budgeted or actual volume you know, then you can compare it with break-even point, break-even volume. So the difference between budgeted or actual versus the break-even volume is the margin of safety. How are we going to calculate that? It is calculated budgeted volume minus break-even volume. You can write it down, budgeted volume minus break-even volume. If not, actual volume minus break-even volume. That is called margin of safety. Now you know how to compute margin of safety, how to compute break-even point. There's another equation which I have not mentioned here, but we have come across in some past papers. That is PV ratio. We call profit volume ratio, PV ratio. PV ratio. How we are going to compute the PV ratio? Profit volume ratio is equal to contribution divided by sales. Contribution divided by sales gives you PV ratio. You can also write it down. So the PV ratio is equal to contribution divided by sales. In other terms, contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit. Same. Contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit. Suppose in a firm, selling price is 100, contribution per unit is say 15, then what is the PV ratio? How much is the PV ratio? Selling price is 100 per unit, contribution per unit is 15 per unit, then what could be the PV ratio? Malaka? 0.15, very much fine, or 15%. 0.15 is the answer. So 15 divided by 100. Right? Hope Dilanja, you got that. 15 divided by 100. 0.15. So very simple. So that's the equation. Again, keep in mind, because sometimes we may be requiring to, yeah, thanks Dilanja, get the idea. Fine. Right. Now we go to break-even formula. Now we have learned some concepts, and also we are learning some applications also. Break-even formula, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit gives you break-even formula. Right? Very important equation. So we know how to compute the fixed cost, and then contribution per unit also we know how to compute. That is selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. It gives you contribution per unit. Then fixed cost divided by contribution per unit is break-even formula. Very simple but very important formula. Right. Chart we learned. Now, margin of safety, they basically further define difference between budgeted or actual sales and the break-even point. You know, budgeted sales minus break-even sales, or actual sales minus break-even sales will be the MOS, margin of safety. Margin of safety could be expressed in units or revenue. Shows the amount by which sales can drop before a loss will be incurred. So that is the amount by which the sales can drop. Did you get that? Means margin of safety is a difference between, if you go by this chart, break even and somewhere here. Here you have budgeted sales or break even sales. Sorry, actual sales or break even sales. Actual sales or budgeted sales is shown here. Here it is break even. So the difference between budgeted or actual versus the break even is the MOS. So then if you keep on coming down up to this point, you can come down, but still you make a profit. But if you go beyond this, if you reduce your units production beyond this, you making loss. So margin of safety is the gap, like here. If you draw like here, this is the kind of gap, right? So that's the difference again when you are, discussing further, it's like, say, the difference between, you know, the actual versus or budgeted versus break even. That's a difference. That difference you can come by one up to this point. Still, you are making profit. Beyond this point, you are making loss. Fine. Okay. Any questions up to now? Any questions? Malaka, any questions? Concepts clear? Any further explanation required? Any clarification? Okay. What about Dilanja? Right. Then we will move to one of the questions there. That is not difficult, but we will understand it. Right. Selling price 50, variable cost 40, fixed cost 70, budgeted sales 7,500. We have the answer, but don't look at the answer. Calculate the break-even point and margin of safety. Break-even point and margin of safety. First, calculate what is the contribution per unit. Then you have the fixed cost. Then calculate the break-even point. Then calculate the margin of safety. Take 2 minutes of your time and do the calculation. Don't look at the answer, just to see what is the, you know, step by step. I think it's not difficult, but you know, we need to get the concepts right. So please have your answer. What are your answers? Malaka, what's the answer? Dilanja, what's your answer? What's the contribution per unit? 10. Okay. And then what's the like break-even point? Right. Then what is the margin of safety? Correct. 500. Dilanja, right, 500. So very simple. Just like those are the kind of questions we are getting. Only thing you need to understand what's the like requirement, and then requirement, and then you need to give it the proper answer. Right. Then if they ask about break-even point in rupees, what is the answer? Now you have computed the unit. Now they want break-even sales. What could be your answer? $350,000. That's what Malaka mentioning. What about Dilanja? how we computed the 350,000 Malaka? Basically, you know what is the break-even volume, and that into selling price per unit, right? So selling price per unit into break-even volume. That's how the computation goes. So sometimes they might ask about break-even point in units, break-even point in rupees. So you have done that. Dilanja, are you okay with that? Are you okay with the sales, break-even sales in agreement with 350,000? Amila, welcome. Good morning. Dilan, you are there with us? Can't hear you. Good morning. Amila, we have started some break-even and we have just, computed some break-even computation. Just go through, and if, anything, please let me know. So we'll, okay. Dilan, you are okay with the computation, and are you happy with the 350,000 figure? So that is basically, break-even units into selling price. So that's how the file Malak has computed, and so you are with that. So basically, so that's what, the questions that we are generally getting. Right, we move on. Now, this is the solution, right? Contribution is selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. So 50 minus 40 gets 10 per unit. Fine. So the break-even point, we define that fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. 70,000 divided by 10, 7,000. Margin of safety is the budgeted volume minus the break-even volume. So budgeted is 7,500 minus 700, 7,500. So if this is actual, again, actual volume minus break-even volume, again, you can get the answer. No difference there. As we have computed now, break-even point is 7,000. If they ask break-even point in sales, then you have to do 7,000 into 50. So that is 350,000. Margin of safety, 500. And if they ask that is in rupees, again 500 into 50. And selling price, we can get whatever terminology parameter in rupees or sales. Hope you have understood that. Right. Then we go target profit. What is that? Another bit of tweaking the equation we have learned. Now, you started the business and you continue the business up to some point. Now we are breaking even the business. So we are not stopping that. We need to move forward. So that is, we go earning profits, making profits. So suppose if I want to make this much of profit, then you have to use the same equation with a bit tweaking to the equation. It basically, what you mean by the profit? Profit is basically, so you have contribution. Based on the contribution, you first absorb fixed cost, then you are trying to absorb the rest of the cost, right? Sorry, whatever leftover will be a profit. So then, in order to achieve that, in order to calculate that, what we are going to do is, instead of the fixed cost, in the break-even formula, you added the target profit to the fixed cost and divide by the contribution per unit, will give the quantity required to achieve the target profit. Right? Right. So before you see this, it's like this equation. Sorry. like this. Now we say fixed cost divided by contribution per unit is the Q, break even. Let's say Q needing target profit, Q and TP, whatever the profit that you want to achieve is equal to fixed cost plus no change here and you add this one here. That's it. That's the only change that you are going to do. Right? So only change, instead of fixed cost, you add target profit here. Then you get the Q by TP, the number of units requiring to produce to achieve the target profit. Is it clear? Malaka, Dilanja, Amila? Clear? Equation? Right. Okay. Now, right. So we'll compute this question. We have selling price 35, variable cost 20, fixed cost 50, target profit of 10,000. Then they ask is how much sales, how much number of units requiring to generate a profit of 10,000. Please calculate. What is the profit requiring to calculate that? Selling price 35, variable cost 20, fixed cost 50,000, profit 10,000. Then what could be the answer? Let me know your answers first. Answer will be there in the paper, but don't look at the answer and see whether you can compute that. What's the answer? Malaka, Dilanja, Amila, what are the answers? Malaka saying 4,000 units. Malaka, you can tell it on rupee terms also. Dilanja, you also come with 4,000. Rupee terms also, please. So then we are trying to finish it at one go. And Amila, what's your answer? We know that, yeah, Malaka, 140,000. So that is 4,000 into 35,000. Fine. Amila, have you got that? Correct, Dilanja, thanks. Amila, are you okay with the equation? Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit is the break-even formula. We are trying to do a bit difference here. Instead of fixed cost, that we have added the target profit. Not TC, it's a TP basically, sorry. Target profit here. And when you add the target profit, you know, the top of the equation will change, because this basically is we are going to achieve or absorb using this contribution per unit. The question number, since I think in the presentation it is there. This is the one, example 2 that we are doing. Example 2. Amila, you can see the board, right? The example 2. Have you missed it? We have not taken anything out. It's in the presentation. The presentation is the example 2. So that we are supposed to compute quantity to achieve the particular target profit. So here fixed cost plus TP divided by contribution per unit is the quantity requiring a target profit. So fixed cost, we know target profit is a 10,000, and then 50 plus 10,000, 60,000 divided by a contribution per unit is 15,000. That is 35 minus 20. So 60,000 divided by 15, we give the 4,000 is the break-even point, or the 4,000 is number of units to achieve the 10,000 target profit. Okay. Any questions? Amila, clear? When you go through whatever initial slides, probably you might be able to catch it up. If anything, please let me know. Right. Then we continue. Right. This is how it computed. Contribution 35 minus 20 is 15. Level of sales 10,000. So 50 plus 10,000 generate profit of 10,000 is 60,000 divided by 15. 4,000 means is the level of quantity, level of sales required. Fine. Right. So this is the last part. That's a limitation of break-even analysis. Now, as I told you, break-even, we have some assumptions in break-even application. So these assumptions, subject to that assumptions, we are trying to see the short-term relationship. But practically, these are not static or constant. But for this application, we are using this. So first one, cost, either fixed or variable. There you can't find semi-variable or semi-fixed cost. There are in practice, but we assume no such semi-variable or semi-fixed. It is either fixed, either variable. One. Number two, the production is equal to sales. Production is equal to sales. Whatever you are going to produce is going to sell. There's no stocks. Then one product, constant sales mix. At least throughout this period, we talk about one product or a kind of a mix. You are not going to change. So number of, there are 2 or 3 products. Number of products you are going to sell at A or B or C is constant throughout the period. Selling price, constant. Efficiency, not change. But in practice, with the learning curve, efficiency could be changed. But here, we assume no such change. Volume is the only factor affecting cost. Volume is only factor. No other factor is going to impact for the volume, but practically it is not so. Maybe technology, maybe other parameters will have an impact. But these 6 very important. You need to memorize, because in some question for the 5 marks, you have to write limitations. Right? What are the assumptions? So weaknesses are some of these things. Fine. Right. That's it. Before just to summarize what we have done, let me know any questions. Any questions that you come across here? Right. Then I will show you a summary what we need to know. These are the equations that you need to keep in mind. First one, contribution per unit is basically fixed cost divided, selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. One. Number two, that is break-even point is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Second equation. Third equation, margin of safety is actual for budgeted volume minus break-even volume. And sales is also correct, right? Volume and sales are our question. Then fourth one, Q at target profit, like here, is also Q at BE, is equal to fixed cost plus target profit divided by contribution per. Fifth one, Amila, you were not there, but this is very important equation. PV ratio, profit volume ratio is equal to contribution unit divided by selling price per unit. I mean, these are the equations that you need to keep in mind, memorized for exam purposes. In addition, three things, that is A, break-even chart, B, break-even application of break-even users, C, break-even limitations. So what's the break-even chart? I have shown you. You need to draw it when you are asked to define the break-even point. Then break-even users, short-term planning, short-term decision making. We discuss 4 areas. Finally, we discuss 6 limitations. Here we have 4. Here we have 6. Right. Any questions of these areas? Malaka, Amila? Dilanja? Is this okay? Fine. Right. Then we'll move to rest of the session. Now I have given you a reading material, development financing, under this, so that you can read through. Right, this important some variable costs and variable cost, right, and then break even, why it is important, right? So this you can use for when the examiner put some question. This is the break even ratio computation, but here the fixed cost gross profit margin ratio is another way, but what we have computed is contribution per unit. Both are correct, so we prefer this one because this is much easier. So that's another version, right? Gross profit ratio is again another version of contribution per unit, the way that we are, so we have computed, but he is coming with it as a ratio. So you all correct. When it comes to ratio, it's automatically coming with the sales figure, right? When it comes to our method, you start with the break-even units, then multiply by the selling price, then again the same answer, right? No harm, whatever way I can do. So this is what, gross profit, in our terms we use contribution. So it's another version. Yeah, you can use the gross profit. Margin of safety, selling, break-even sales. So they give as a percentage, right? So sales unit or budgeted units versus the break-even unit or break-even sales. So that's all the margin of safety in terms of sales, right? You understand. So this is, the actual sales. This is the break-even sales. So this is the difference. That's a margin of safety. How much sales can drop in this way, right? In terms of value. If you come here, right, how much you drop from the units. If you take x-axis, drop from the units, y-axis, drop from the rupees, right? There are examples also, right? And some more into the break-even, right? This may not exactly relevant to the exam, but it's good that, how we are using that application in terms of firms of operations, right? So they here advantages, disadvantages, very important as a conclusion, right? Read this. Sometimes your examiner may have not, asked it, but could be useful if we ask about, what is the advantage of break-even, what is the disadvantage of break-even, right? Right, that's it. That's about the reading material. Then this is we need to do. Hold on. Give me a minute. Apparently, it has. Yeah. Sorry about that, Malaka. Some issue happened. Right. In the meantime, like I just will explain what is my reading material is. Basically, it's like a bit going into deeper, where you can see the same application they have done in a different way. So instead of contribution, they use this word GP, and then based on that, they have done the computation. So what I've been talking through is basically this is the kind of reading material where again they have computed it in they have done it in a different way, but the same the formula. Instead of contribution, they use the GP, right? So finally in the presentation you can read through, not the presentation, the reading material. At the end of this thing, they have given some advantages and the disadvantages. So that is also important, because so far that examiner has not asked those things, but in time to come they might ask about what are the advantages, disadvantages of the break-even concept, and as we learn what are the limitations, and as we learn what are the applications in these computations, right? That's all what we can expect other than the computation. So now these are the two things, that's the presentation and reading material. Now in order to further familiarize, so we'll start 1 or 2 questions, right? Okay. 2019 March, right? So we have a question. What is meant by break-even analysis, right? So now this is a recent, yes, I think. Question number 3. Right. So in the break-even analysis, because the examiner has given a kind of detailed answer, but we may not require him to go to that far, but it's very good, a comprehensive answer. So that's why I have selected. So we will discuss it. Break-even attempts to find break-even volume by analyzing relationship between fixed and variable cost on the one hand, and the business volume pricing and net cash flow on the other hand, like CVP analysis. That's what generally it talks about, right? Cost, volume, profit analysis, right? Understanding how these factors impact each other is crucial in budgeting, production planning, profit forecasting, and break-even analysis is central for this understanding. So it basically, there's another line to say, the short-term planning and decision-making. So it's a budgeting, planning, profit forecasting. Very important. So 2 points. Essential components, right, is cash flow, fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost sometimes, but we are not taking that into account because it's a that's a limitation we mentioned. So what's cash flows? Simple analysis assume that each unit brings the same cash inflow. For sellers, cash inflow per unit is the same as the selling price per unit. It's basically, so the revenue they are talking about, right? So revenue is basically, we say whatever the unit that we are going to produce, the income you generate, sales you generate, cash flow you generate. So selling price per unit in the other way. That's an important function. Then we talk about fixed cost. Remaining constant, fixed, regardless of unit of volume, right? Like insurance, term loan interest, capital repayment, manager salary, admin, like that. So he has given some examples also. The fixed cost is not going to change with the output. Variable cost, it's a cost vary in direct proportion to the quantity sold or unit volume. Variable cost for selling goods, he has given examples. Acquire each unit. As a result, total variable cost can be cost per unit multiplied by the unit of volume. So what he is trying to understand is basically trying to give is, so he defined contribution per unit. So he defined fixed cost, sorry, he defined revenue, fixed cost, variable cost. Last, break-even unit and unit volume. In business, break-even point usually means the unit volume that balance total cost with total gains. Break-even is a quantity for which cash outflow equals cash inflow. That's revenue is equal to cost. At the break-even quantity, net cash flow equals to 0, like no profit, no loss situation. So he has put it in a different perspective, but we need not worry his terminology, but we need to understand what he has done. So what is break-even? He mentions that break-even is the definition CVP analysis, and he mentioned why the break-even is using or where it is using. Number 3, key component of the break-even: fixed cost, variable cost, revenue, and the break-even point. That's it, right? So maybe basically maybe 4 or 5 lines in different perspective: definition, users, and key component. If possible, now when you are writing it, you can draw the graph also, because you need not to write all these, like fixed cost is something cost which is not changing with the volume. Example, rent. Variable cost is basically changes with the volume, labor, or maybe cost of raw material. So break-even point is basically fixed cost divided by contribution per unit, right? Revenue is basically the income, sales, cash flow generated with the each sale of unit. Very simple, right? Because why I want to select this question is it gives more depth. When you read this, you can get some more into your mind about examples and how you see it differently. With some question, he might ask about, instead of revenue, he might talk about cash flow. Then we think about, no, we haven't learned about cash flow. We only learned about sales. No, sales, revenue, cash, all are equal here. So when you read this, then you understand, right? Those are not two different things, right? Any questions? Any questions? Malaka, Dilanja, Amila? Clear? You are going to write a kind of a question if it is coming again. Any questions? No? Okay. Right. Thank you. Right. Then we move to another question. Right. This is the kind of question. Before that, right. We first go to this 2017 September question. Right. So you have the answer, but don't look at the answer. Right. See whether you can compute the question. You can, put the answers. Right. Here, we go straight away. Para 2. A self-employed lady named Kanti assembles gift packs with assortment of seeds. She operates from a small rental premises in Gampaha. Rent 4,000, other fixed cost 1,000, and selling the gift pack 100, variable cost 80. So see what is very important, figures, and then start computing. They ask about first one is PV ratio. So what is the PV ratio in the first place? Take a minute and see what is the answer. And let me know your answer. So what's the answer? Malaka, Dilanja, what's the answer? PV ratio 0.2. Dilanja, you got the same answer. PV ratio is basically what? Contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit. Simple, right? So contribution per unit, how you compute? 100 minus 80. CA asuwa kadu kara 20යි 20 beduwa selling price. CA 20 CA beduwa 0.2. If you know the computation, know the equation, I mean, you can get the 5 marks within 30 seconds, right? So that's, I am telling, sometimes very simple, easy questions comes for, our testing, right? Then we go to the part 2. Break-even points. You need to tell it output and sales, both. If you don't understand, please let me know, Amila. And the next is output in terms of volume, break-even point, output and sales value, both. First, you need to understand what is the fixed cost, and you know the contribution per unit. Then you can compute the break-even point. What is the break-even point? Malaka, what's the answer? Ilanja, what's the answer? Amila, what's the answer? Yes, 250, and Malaka, yes. In terms to, yeah, very correct. What about Amila? You are there, right? Any questions for you? He is not there. Right. Right. So 250 units, 250, sorry, 25,000. That is simply multiply that into 100. Very good, right? So third one. Try for the third one also. Sorry. That is calculate the profit made by business if 20,000 facts are sold in a month. Now Q and given target profit is 20,000. And we need to compute the target profit. Let's try out that also. What could be the answer? 395. Yes, Malaka is coming from 395,000. Dilanja, what is the answer you got? This is the equation we need to use. Right, both got correct and very impressed. So here just you put something and then fixed cost you know, TP we don't know. Just multiply and calculate that. Very good, right? The last one actually I'm not going to do because it's straight away it's there. Main assumption, right? Here they have given only one, but we have six, right? Earlier so you can write it all, right? So that's a 2017 September, right? Yeah. Right. Now this is another sum, very important one, right? Don't look at the answer again because they have done it in a different way. But see whether you can compute. First, read out the answer question and see what is the most appropriate data for this question, and see whether first you compute the break-even point. You take 2-3 minutes and see whether you can get the answer. Fourth line say in the year 2018 plans to sell 60,000 units, 40 per unit. Total variable production cost is 62.5%. Selling expense is 10%. Contribution margin is 27.5%. Fixed production 32,000. Selling and admin cost 12,000. Now there are some important information. Now see whether what we exactly need to compute the break-even point. Do we know the fixed cost? Do we know the contribution per unit? Then we don't have a big issue. So try to find out first fixed cost, then contribution per unit. What is the answer? Malaka, Blanche, were you able to find the selling price per unit? What is the selling price? 40. It has been, straight away identified. Right. Then fixed cost. What is the fixed cost? 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 44,000. Dilan, do you agree with the 44,000 fixed cost? Malak says 44,000. Yeah, 44,000 is correct. Now we know fixed cost. We know selling price per unit. Do you know the variable cost per unit, or is there any other way to find the contribution per unit straight away? Contribution per unit straight away හොයන්න පුළුවන් ක්‍රමයක්. If you know the contribution per unit, if you know the fixed cost, then question is answered. මේක කොහේ හරි තියෙනවද? Contribution per unit හොයාගන්න ක්‍රමයක්. Because there are several methods, but we need to worry about everything. පුළුවන් තියනවාද ක්‍රමයක්? If it is so, what is that? Very correct. Dilanji, you have spot on. 40. That sales swelling 27.5 කියලා කියන්නේ. Selling price swelling 27.5%. So selling price is 40. 27.5% is the contribution margin. So 40 into 0.275 is something how, what's the answer? 11. Then you know the fixed cost. Then you know the contribution per unit. Right? So 44,000 divided by 11. 4,000 is the units. If you want to rupee, 4,000 into 40, right? That's the selling price. Rupee value. See, now when you have so many data, we may not be able to exactly figure it out what exactly we need. There are other methods also you can compute from 40 to 62.5 plus this and that and all that you can compute, but straight away it mentioned contribution margin, contribution ratio is given. The contribution ratio then based on the sales. Based on the sales, if you disregard the Q, selling price, selling price into contribution margin, again give contribution per unit. 40 rupees into 27.5%, it's 11. Okay, so then fixed cost is 44,000 divided by 11, 4,000 is the number of units. And if you repeat 4,000 into 40, that's 1.6 million, right? Right. Did you get that, Malaka? Dilanja, you are okay with the computation? Please let me know so that we can go to next one. Right. Dilanja, okay, fine. Right. So then the number of units break even is 4,000. Break even sales is 4,000 into 40. Fine. So before going to the question number 2, we go to the question number 3, then come back to the question number 2 because we need to draw a graph. So then go to the question number 3. See whether you are getting the correct answer for that. 300,000 before tax profit, that's target profit. So number of handicraft sell, the intended profit, and then sales revenue at that point also. See whether you can compute that. Please answer. Were you able to compute? Very much fine, Dilanja, 34,000. Malaka, have you got the same answer? Now we need the number in rupees also. Very much fine. So that is into 40. See, how easy. That going by the question, we might not be able to see when the question is bigger. We presume that it's a difficult. No, when you have a explanations and bigger question, large question, detailed question, means it's easy the other way. Only thing is you need to do some exact relevant points. Otherwise you can even first one you can do some other method and do it, but here you just found contribution margin is given, that into 40 contribution per unit. So take a gatta gaman palawani kattare 3 weeni kattare. right? So last part, nothing to do. That's about some assumptions, limitations. It has been repeated several times. So now we move to the second part. Because the first time it's asking, again, it's not difficult, but we need to draw a profit volume graph. We need to draw a profit volume graph. Sales volume profit volume graph, right? It's like this. Volume, profit. Right. How do you draw this? I think you can see the board, right? Malaka. Board එක පේනවනේ. Fine. අපෙන් අහනවා sorry. Right. Profit volume graph එකක් අහන්න. How can we do that? We need only 2 minimum points, right? If you know 2 points minimum, we can draw a graph. Do we know at least 1 point here? Actually, you can use this. Q is equal to fixed cost plus TP divided by contribution per unit. Equation. Then what we need to draw is this one. Q versus TP. Make a hand. Profits volume. In other terms, this is X, this is Y. X axis, Y axis. Right. Do we know at least 1 point? Yes, it's break-even point, right? At break-even point, what's the profit? Tell me. 0, right? So, what's our break-even point? What's the figure? 4,000. Eh? We take like this. Let me say 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, it goes like 6,000. So at this point, we know 1 point. Profit is 0. Then what we need to know? See whether you can find another point or 2. That's it. Somewhere here, somewhere here. Just see what happened when Q is 0. Q is 0 can make point. So if this is 0, what happened? Here 11. Contribution per unit is 11. It is immaterial anyway. Make 11 una, Q una tadakna, make 0 and 0. Fixed cost is how much? 44,000, right? Then what is the TP? Positive or negative? Here 0. 0 is equal to 44,000 plus TP. Again, so TP is minus 44,000. Right? You get it something. So if you say something like here, you get 20, 40, 60, something here, right? At 0 units, you are not making anything. 0. At 4,000, you make something. If you want, at 5,000, you can compute and see what is it. So you put 5,000 here. Then you get some TP. 10,000 here. You get another point. Very simple. We just try to find 2 or 3 points. Here, you try to find. Now, 1 is anyway given. A computer. Easily, you can say, then Q is 0. At this point, what's the profit? So then you have another one. It's like this, then just intersect. Like this. This is the graph that we are trying to do. That's all about it, right? So whenever we sometimes get it, we may not, exactly comfortable. And like that. So we think it's difficult. No. See this question, lengthy. But you just pick up what's the contribution margin, first one done. Third one automatically done. Fourth one nothing to do because it's just a repeat. Now it's only the area that you need to focus here. Make it if you have done previously like this, then it's not a repeat, right? You try to find 2 points to draw any graph. 1 point is anyway given. So we take another point and then get something minus 44. So 2 points. At 5,000, you may get some maybe 7,000 or 8,000 profitability. Just any questions? Anything that is not clear? Halaka, Bilanja, any gray area, any difficulty? Right, all clear? Bilanja? Okay, fine. By the way, are you, any of you are sitting exam this time? Next week also? You are sitting, right? So probably you are not in a position to come next week, right? That's what. What about Dilanja? Right. Malaka, how long that you are, planning to sit? Only next week? Next Sunday? 30th and 7th, both you are sitting or how? 31st and 7th? Or what's like your exam dates? Right. So you can join next Sunday. Right, fine. So then I don't want to change my plans that if that you are not joining, then I thought to do more or less theory stuffs in future lesson. But since that you can join, so then we'll start as planned in the next week session. Right. So basically, this is what exactly the maximum that we can get for break even, right? So just to recap, what we need to know is definition and then terminology and then computations, then we need to know what are the users applications, then limitations, finally as in my theory sorry, advantages, disadvantages, which we had not discussed in the today's class, but you can read through the advantages, disadvantages in the reading material. So this is the 6 areas that you need to be thorough whenever you have been asked to compute or attempt a question. But again, I am telling very easy, right? So far we haven't got any difficult questions, right? So this is anyway a question that everybody has to attempt. If you have anything, right, let me know. Even whatever the past was, I think I have taken almost all questions, but if there are whatever left over, so we'll discuss at the later of the session when we do a question and answers. Right? So here and the computations, I think I just reproduce what we need to know, that is break-even point, that is quantity and rupees. Volume and rupee, that's one. Number 2, margin of safety. Number 3, target profit, PV ratio. These are only things that we have been tested to, we have been asked to. Right, break-even point. When we arrive at the break-even point, we need to know fixed cost, selling price per unit, and variable cost per unit. So you can compute in volume, quantity, convert it to rupees. Margin of safety is actual or budgeted sales minus break-even sales, break-even units. That could be in terms of revenue, that could be in terms of unit again. Target profit, a calculation where we are supposed to see what is the amount of quantity that we need to produce to achieve the target profit. So that is basically fixed cost plus target profit divided by contribution per unit is equal to the Q at TP. PV ratio is basically contribution divided by selling price. So contribution per unit minus divided by selling price per unit. It's like percentage or it's a fraction, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, that's it. Right. So that's all about, wanted to cover. This is not, again, it's very, difficult area, but, small but important in terms of examination. Right. Any questions? Any questions? This is like, if you see the answer, see that they have done it different way. So you can also try that out. Like here they say sales per unit 40% like that, variable cost like production, selling, so 25 for 62.5 for 10%. The total variable cost is this much. So that's 29. 72.5% is the margin. Contribution margin is 11. 27.5 is the percentage. Sorry, per unit is 11. And 27.5 is the percentage. This is rupee value also. Fixed cost production is 32,000 plus 12, 44,000. So break even now 40 minus 26, 44. So that's how they arrive. But rather than going the lengthy process, you just take this 27.5 into 40, you found just 11. I mean, no need to, look for these. This also can do, but not necessary. Here you 27.5 into 40, you end up with 11. So 11 is like 44,000 divided by level is 4,000. 4,000 units into 4,000 into 40, 160,000. So straight away you got the answer. Part 2 here, again, the 4,000 is basically, hope you can see the board, right? I think I have shared it. Right. Yeah, here, because now in this equation at 4,000 units, because at the break even, there's no profit, no loss situation, fine. And then you see when you come in further down at zero profit, at zero quantity, you end up with 44,000 figure where minus 44,000 profitability. So there's another point. So you can intersect these 2 points and you can find another, say, 10,000 or whatever profit, and then you continue. So minimum 2 points you can have it, but another point would be very nice so that you can continue with the graph. You can get 5 marks there. When you go to third one, sales. This is the direct approach. Sales minus variable cost is equal to fixed cost plus profit, because now that this 44,000 this thing. That's 40x 29x is selling total sales is 40,000 into number of units. Variable cost is like 29 into this one, and then 11x is 374,000, 34,000. This is correct, but our equation also similar: fixed cost plus PBT or profit divided by contribution per unit. Right, the same equation they have used. Then if it is revenue, they use this equation, but since we know the units into number of what do you call 40,000 selling price, so that multiply you can get the answer. So we actually did the indirect way. That's easy way out. Then this is also correct, like sales revenue is fixed cost plus variable cost, this is whatever profitability, and so multiply that so that you can get in that way also. But I mean, don't do that method, because the answer could be taken easily the method that we have discussed. Assumption is basically this one of the 4-5 things that we have discussed. So this is like a very good answer for the assumption. We have learned 6. Here again they have come up with something like revenue variable cost constant, linear with the relevant range. So that's what we say. No change, like variable cost, no change in the fixed cost, and the revenue is again in line with the production. Contribution margin is linear within the relevant range, so that's a short term the proposition. So if there's no change in the selling price and variable cost, no change in the contribution. Fixed cost constant, and mixed cost can be accurately separated into the variable and fixed. So that's how we have been told is the cost component is only for fixed or variable, no semi-variable or semi-fixed. Sales production equal means whatever sales is equal to going to whatever produced is going to sold. Labor productivity, production technology, market condition will not change during the period under consideration means, so whatever only the factor change we assume as the volume. No other factor will have an impact to the volume. But productivity, efficiency, technology, market condition will have an impact in general, but we assume no change in this equation, in this proposition. So that's what the assumption. This is the same thing in different way, but that's good. So you read this and read our learnings and have at least 4 to 5 assumptions, right? Or rather limitations in that way. And then what are the uses. That's application in second or third slide. So with that, it will be okay. And advantages and disadvantages is also there in my detail too. Just read it out. And sometimes the examiner would ask about what's the advantages of break-even, what's the disadvantages of break-even. Compare and contrast, the break-even analysis in terms of usability, advantages and disadvantages. So that's what the additional point that we could bring here. Fine. So with that, I think I have done with any questions. Right. If not, so what we'll do is, we will continue as we plan, probably next week at the same time. So, so based on that, so we'll continue maybe another 5 to 6 weeks about whatever the ingredients to the project financing. So as final step, so we will do the what do you call project financing kind of whatever templates, and with that I think we'll be able to finish its session. So probably I think we can end up whatever by end March or so, we will be in a position to complete the syllabus, and then we'll take another 4 or 5 weeks to complete whatever the rest of the questions that we have not attempted during the general course. Right. So having said that, I'm about to finish it off. Any questions from you end? Okay, then we'll meet next week, Malaka, Dilanja. So have a good week ahead and take care. Stay safe. Right. Thank you.